Small businesses are often called the backbone of the American economy, and for good reason. They create jobs, drive innovation, and keep our local communities thriving. But lately, things have been a bit shaky for these vital enterprises. Stick around because what's happening on Main Street might surprise you, and it definitely matters to all of us. The National Federation of Independent Business, or NFIB for short, recently released their Small Business Optimism Index for August. Now, this might sound like a mouthful, but it's actually pretty simple. This index tells us how confident small business owners are feeling about the future. And folks, the numbers aren't looking great. In August, the index dropped 2.5 points, landing at 91.2. To put that in perspective, this wiped out all the gains made in July, when business owners felt more optimistic. So why the sudden change? Well, there's more than one reason, and they're all connected. First up, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The upcoming presidential election on November 5th, 2024, is casting a long shadow over Main Street. Now, if you think it's just an election and there's no big deal, you might be wrong, because for small business owners, elections can mean big changes. Think about it. New policies, new regulations, maybe even new tax laws. All of these can have a huge impact on how a small business operates. And right now, with the election still months away, there's a lot of uncertainty. Business owners are finding it tough to plan for the future when they don't know what that future might look like. But the election isn't the only thing keeping small business owners up at night. Let's talk about everyone's least favorite economic term, inflation. Inflation has been a problem for businesses and consumers alike for a while now. According to the NFIB survey, it's still the top concern for many small business owners. In fact, 24% of them cited inflation as their biggest problem. That's a slight decrease from previous months, but it's still a significant number. Now, why is inflation such a big deal? Well, for small businesses, it's a double whammy. On one hand, they're facing higher costs for everything they need to run their business, from raw materials to employee wages. On the other hand, they must be careful about raising their prices too much, or they risk losing customers. It's a delicate balancing act, and many business owners are feeling the pressure. Small business owners are also worried about their future sales. The NFIB survey found that the number of owners expecting higher sales in the coming months dropped by 9 points. That's a pretty big swing, and it means more owners now expect their sales to go down rather than up. This pessimism about future sales is having a real impact on businesses' bottom lines. The survey revealed that reports of positive profit trends hit their lowest point since March 2010. Just let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about profit levels we haven't seen in over a decade. Small business owners also face another challenge: the ongoing labor shortage. Finding qualified workers continues to be a huge headache for small business owners. The NFIB survey found that 40% of them had job openings they couldn't fill in August. But it gets even more interesting when we look at specific industries. Take construction, for example. A whopping 60% of construction firms reported having job openings they're struggling to fill. The transportation and manufacturing sectors are facing similar challenges. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute. I thought unemployment was low. How can there be so many unfilled jobs? It's a great question, and the answer lies in what economists call a skills mismatch. There are jobs available, but often the people looking for work don't have the specific skills needed for those jobs. It's like having a bunch of square pegs and only round holes. Not a great fit. So far, we've painted a pretty gloomy picture. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom on Main Street. There are some silver linings to this economic cloud. For instance, the NFIB survey found that about 24% of small business owners are planning to make capital investments in the next 6 months. That's actually a slight increase from July. These investments could include things like buying new equipment, renovating their premises, or expanding their business in other ways. This willingness to invest is a sign that despite all the challenges, many small business owners still believe in the future of their enterprises. It shows a certain resilience that's characteristic of entrepreneurs. However, and you knew there was going to be a however, right? These investment plans face some significant hurdles. First up, interest rates. They're high right now, which makes borrowing money expensive. Those high interest rates can be a real deterrent for a small business owner who is considering taking out a loan to fund an expansion or purchase new equipment. Then there's the general economic uncertainty we talked about earlier. It's harder to commit to long-term investments when the future is unclear. Many business owners are adopting a wait-and-see approach, holding off on major decisions until they have a better idea of what's coming down the pike. Now, why should we care about all of this? Why does it matter if small businesses are struggling? Well, small businesses are more than just stores or services in our neighborhoods. They're a vital part of our economy and our communities. According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, small businesses create 2/3 of new jobs and deliver 43.5% of the United States gross domestic product, GDP. In other words, when small businesses hurt, we all feel the pain. But it's not just about numbers and economics. Small businesses are often the heart of our communities. They're the coffee shop where you start your morning, the local bookstore where you find your next great read, and the family-owned restaurant where you celebrate special occasions. They sponsor Little League teams, donate to local charities, and add character to our main streets. So what's the takeaway from all of this? What can we expect in the coming months? Well, if we listen to Bill Dunkelberg, the chief economist at NFIB, we should buckle up for a bumpy ride. He warns that we should expect more volatility in the coming months, especially as the election approaches. But remember, small business owners are nothing if not resilient. They've weathered economic storms before, and many are working hard to adapt to these challenging times. They're finding creative ways to cut costs without sacrificing quality, exploring new markets, and leveraging technology to streamline their operations. And here's where you and I come in. As consumers, we have the power to support our local small businesses. Whether it's choosing to shop at a local store instead of a big chain, ordering takeout from a family-owned restaurant, or leaving positive reviews for our favorite local services, every little bit helps. Before we wrap up, let's recap the main points we've covered today. 1. Small business confidence has taken a hit, largely due to uncertainty about the upcoming election and ongoing economic challenges. 2. Inflation remains a top concern for small business owners, affecting both their costs and pricing strategies. 3. Many businesses are pessimistic about future sales and are seeing their profits squeezed. 4. The labor shortage continues to be a significant issue, especially in industries like construction and manufacturing. 5. Despite these challenges, some business owners are still planning to invest in their companies, showing resilience in the face of adversity. 6. High interest rates and economic uncertainty are making it harder for businesses to plan for the long term. 7. The health of small businesses has a big impact on our overall economy and the character of our communities. As we approach the 2024 election, keep an eye on how these trends develop. The state of small businesses can tell us a lot about the overall health of our economy and what we might expect in the future.
That's all for today, folks.
If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more insights into business and economics. And hey, why not support a local small business today? Every purchase makes a difference. Until next time, take care and stay informed.